Imagine a life where external chaos no longer rattles your mind, where the ups and downs of daily life do not disrupt your inner calm, and where personal peace becomes your default state. This is the timeless promise of Stoicism, a philosophy developed in ancient Greece and Rome, and perfected by great minds like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. At its core, Stoicism is not about suppressing emotions or becoming detached from life. It is about mastering oneself, one's thoughts, reactions, and intentions, so that happiness and tranquility are not dictated by circumstances beyond our control. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and philosopher, ruled an empire filled with war, political intrigue, and personal challenges. Yet in his private writings compiled in his Meditations, he demonstrates extraordinary composure, resilience, and clarity. How did he manage to cultivate such inner calm despite external pressures? The answer lies in the timeless Stoic principles that guide every thought, choice, and action. By understanding and applying these principles, anyone, regardless of their situation, can achieve a sense of mastery over their mind and life. Stoicism teaches us that the only thing we truly control is our own reasoning and choices. Everything else, other people's actions, the economy, health, and even life itself, lies outside our control. While this may initially seem limiting, Stoics see it as liberating. By focusing on what we can influence, we release the anxiety, frustration, and fear that often dominate modern life. Stoic philosophy provides practical tools for everyday life: reflection, mindfulness, journaling, meditation, and ethical decision-making. These techniques strengthen emotional resilience, enhance clarity, and allow us to navigate life's challenges with grace. In this documentary, we will explore 7 Stoic secrets Marcus Aurelius used to stop caring about what he could not control and to master peace of mind. Each secret provides a roadmap to cultivating mental clarity, reducing stress, and fostering personal growth. Through historical examples, modern applications, and actionable insights, viewers will learn not just theory but practical strategies that can be applied immediately. From evaluating thoughts and emotions to embracing impermanence, these secrets illuminate the path toward calm, purposeful living. By the end of this video, you will have a clear understanding of how to integrate Stoic wisdom into your daily life. These practices are not reserved for emperors or philosophers. They are accessible to anyone willing to dedicate time to self-reflection, discipline, and mindful living. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by life's unpredictability, struggled to maintain focus, or wish for deeper mental peace, these Stoic strategies offer timeless solutions. So let's embark on this journey into the mind of Marcus Aurelius, exploring the 7 secrets he used to stop caring about what he could not control and to cultivate an unshakable peace of mind. Lesson 1: Embrace the dichotomy of control. 5 uttered words. One of the most fundamental principles of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control, famously articulated by Epictetus. The Stoics recognize that life is divided into 2 spheres: things we can control and things we cannot. Our thoughts, intentions, and actions are within our control. External events, other people's decisions and outcomes lie outside our power. Marcus Aurelius applied this insight daily, reminding himself that worrying about what he could not influence was futile. By embracing this dichotomy, he freed his mind from unnecessary distress and focused on effective action. Modern life bombards us with stimuli beyond our control: traffic jams, work pressures, social media criticism, economic uncertainty, and global events. The Stoic approach is not about detachment from reality but about redirecting energy toward what truly matters. For instance, instead of becoming angry at a colleague's criticism, one can focus on responding calmly, refining one's work, or controlling personal reactions. This shift from obsession over external events to mastery of internal responses is liberating. Real-life examples abound. Entrepreneurs face market unpredictability, yet successful ones focus on improving their products and decisions rather than lamenting uncontrollable market forces. Athletes prepare meticulously for competition, knowing the outcome is uncertain, but their focus on training, strategy, and discipline exemplifies the Stoic dichotomy of control. Marcus Aurelius likened this to an archer. One can aim carefully and release the arrow, but the flight and final impact are beyond control. Satisfaction comes from effort, not result. Actionable insights: start each day by listing things within your control: your actions, reactions, and intentions. When faced with challenges, pause and ask, is this within my control? If not, consciously release attachment. Over time, this practice reduces anxiety, enhances focus, and cultivates calmness. The dichotomy of control is not a passive acceptance of fate but an active commitment to personal mastery, a principle that can transform stress into purposeful action. Lesson 20: Practice negative visualization. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that life is unpredictable and that suffering is inevitable. The practice of negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum, involves imagining potential challenges, losses, or setbacks in advance. By mentally rehearsing adversity, Stoics prepare themselves to face life calmly, reducing shock, fear, and emotional overreaction when difficulties arise. This Stoic exercise strengthens resilience. For example, imagine losing a job, a personal relationship ending, or facing financial uncertainty. Visualizing these scenarios allows one to assess potential responses, identify resources, and cultivate emotional readiness. Marcus Aurelius used this practice to strengthen his sense of equanimity, reminding himself that external events are fleeting and ultimately outside his control. Modern applications include preparing for public speaking, career setbacks, or difficult conversations. Many CEOs, athletes, and performers engage in mental rehearsals, envisioning worst-case scenarios to reduce anxiety and improve performance. Real-life stories abound. A chess grandmaster mentally rehearses each possible opponent move, while a physician prepares for complex surgeries by visualizing complications and responses. Both practices mirror Stoic negative visualization, actionable insight. Spend a few minutes daily imagining potential setbacks or challenges. Reflect on how you would respond virtuously, calmly, and effectively. This strengthens mental flexibility and emotional resilience, reducing fear of the unknown. By anticipating adversity, you stop worrying when it occurs and respond with clarity, courage, and composure. Negative visualization turns anxiety into preparation and reinforces the Stoic mindset that inner peace comes from mastering the mind, not controlling external events. Lesson 30: Daily Reflection and Journaling. Marcus Aurelius' Meditations is a prime example of the Stoic habit of daily reflection. Writing down thoughts, assessing one's actions, and reviewing daily decisions were integral to cultivating wisdom, discipline, and self-awareness. The practice allows one to recognize patterns of thought, evaluate emotional responses, and reinforce virtues. Stoic journaling is not mere record keeping but a tool for transformation. By writing, we externalize thoughts, examine biases, and gain clarity. Epictetus emphasized that self-knowledge is the foundation of freedom. Understanding one's reactions, desires, and fears enables deliberate action. Marcus Aurelius reviewed his day nightly, reflecting on mistakes, moments of virtue, and lessons learned. Modern applications journaling helps professionals, students, and creatives process complex emotions, track progress toward goals, and cultivate gratitude. Real-life examples include entrepreneurs who journal to review challenges and identify growth opportunities, or athletes who record performance metrics alongside emotional reflections to optimize training. Journaling creates a feedback loop, enhancing self-discipline and aligning actions with long-term objectives. Actionable insight. Dedicate 15 minutes each evening to review your day. Write down moments of success, mistakes, and areas for improvement. Ask: did I act with virtue? Did I respond to challenges appropriately? What can I improve tomorrow? This Stoic habit strengthens self-awareness, promotes emotional resilience, and fosters a mindset of continuous improvement. Lesson 4: Accept impermanence. A central tenet of Stoicism is the acceptance of impermanence. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself that all things, life, relationships, wealth, and status, are transient. Recognizing the temporary nature of everything reduces attachment, fear, and anxiety, allowing for inner calm. This is not pessimism but clarity. Understanding that loss is inevitable helps one cherish what is present while remaining composed when circumstances change. Historical context demonstrates the power of this lesson. Marcus Aurelius ruled during turbulent times, facing wars, plagues, and political instability. By reflecting on the fleeting nature of all external phenomena, he remained steady and resilient. Epictetus similarly advised students to prepare for change, teaching that attachment to external things leads to suffering, while attachment to virtue and character cultivates freedom and tranquility. Modern applications are abundant. Consider careers, friendships, or material possessions. People often cling to them for security, leading to stress when they change or disappear. Accepting impermanence fosters adaptability and gratitude. For example, losing a job becomes less devastating when one understands it as a temporary situation rather than a permanent judgment on ability. Similarly, recognizing that relationships evolve helps maintain emotional balance when people grow apart. Real-life example: a parent may struggle as children grow and leave home. By acknowledging impermanence, they learn to cherish daily moments while preparing emotionally for future changes. This mindset reduces regret and cultivates appreciation for life's present. Actionable insight daily. Reflect on impermanence. Identify one thing you cherish and imagine it no longer exists. Use this as a prompt to appreciate it fully today. Let this mindset guide responses to change. Focus on what you can control: your thoughts, actions, and responses, rather than resisting the inevitable. Embracing impermanence transforms anxiety into serenity, strengthening resilience and perspective. Lesson 50: Focus on virtue, not outcome. Stoicism emphasizes that true fulfillment arises not from external outcomes but from virtuous action. Marcus Aurelius repeatedly reminded himself to act justly, wisely, courageously, and with temperance regardless of result. Outcomes often lie outside our control, but actions within our moral sphere are ours alone to govern. By focusing on virtue, one gains lasting peace and self-respect. Historical examples abound. Epictetus taught that one should not judge success by external approval but by adherence to ethical principles. Marcus Aurelius applied this while making critical political and military decisions, prioritizing justice and integrity over personal gain or public opinion. Seneca, too, argued that a virtuous life is a life of contentment, regardless of material wealth or social status. Modern relevance is profound. Many people tie happiness to achievements, promotion, wealth, or recognition, but these are contingent on factors beyond control. By focusing on virtuous behavior instead, stress diminishes. For instance, a manager practicing fairness and patience fosters team trust regardless of project success. A student prioritizing diligent study and ethical conduct gains personal satisfaction, independent of grades. Real-life example: a teacher may invest in students' growth, even if some fail to meet expectations. The teacher's virtue, dedication, patience, and guidance remains intact. Similarly, an entrepreneur may fail financially yet maintains integrity in dealings. Virtue ensures self-respect which material loss cannot erode. Actionable insight daily. Evaluate decisions through the lens of virtue. Ask: am I acting with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance? Separate outcomes from effort. Recognize that effort aligned with virtue is inherently valuable. This perspective shifts focus from anxiety over results to control over conduct, building inner tranquility. Lesson 6: Manage desires and avoid excess. Stoicism teaches that unchecked desires lead to suffering. Seneca warned against excessive pursuit of wealth, fame, or pleasures, arguing that moderation cultivates contentment. Marcus Aurelius practiced self-restraint, reminding himself that external goods are indifferent. Peace comes from inner discipline, not accumulation. Historical context illustrates this. Roman elites often indulged in luxury, yet Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius sought simplicity. He resisted opulence, finding happiness in reasoned living and ethical choice. Epictetus emphasized that freedom lies in limiting attachment to external things. Desire must be tempered by understanding what is truly valuable, virtue and wisdom. Modern applications. People are constantly bombarded with material temptations, social comparisons, and status pressures. Managing desires reduces stress, impulsivity, and dissatisfaction. For example, resisting unnecessary spending fosters financial stability and peace of mind. Moderating social media use prevents envy and distraction, aligning focus with personal goals. Real-life example. Someone training for a marathon must resist unhealthy food cravings and sedentary habits. By prioritizing discipline over fleeting pleasures, they achieve long-term health, self-confidence, and accomplishment. Similarly, professionals who resist gossip, envy, and competition maintain clarity and composure in high-pressure environments. Actionable insight: identify one desire or habit causing stress or distraction. Practice moderation for a week, replacing indulgence with mindful, virtuous alternatives. Reflect nightly on progress, noting improvements in focus, satisfaction, and emotional control. Over time, disciplined management of desires fosters resilience, clarity, and lasting contentment. Lesson 70: Cultivate mindfulness and presence. For Stoics, living fully in the present is essential. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that the present moment is all we truly possess. Dwelling on the past or fearing the future wastes energy. Mindfulness enhances clarity, decision-making, and emotional balance, allowing one to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Historical context. Epictetus taught that the mind is our primary tool. Attention directed correctly allows mastery over judgment and action. Marcus Aurelius' daily reflections demonstrate acute awareness of his thoughts and emotions, guiding his conduct with intentionality and calm. Modern applications. Mindfulness is widely recognized in psychology and productivity. Practicing awareness reduces stress, improves focus, and strengthens relationships. Professionals can pause during conflict to assess emotions before reacting. Parents can fully engage with children, appreciating each interaction without distraction. Real-life example: consider driving in heavy traffic. Instead of succumbing to anger, a Stoic mind notices the impatience, breathes deeply, and focuses on safe driving. The external situation is uncontrollable, but mindfulness transforms response into composure. Similarly, students managing exams can stay present, absorbing material fully instead of panicking about results. Actionable insight daily: dedicate 5 minutes to mindful breathing, noting thoughts without judgment. Throughout the day, practice brief pauses before responding in stressful situations. Observe sensations, emotions, and surroundings consciously. Mindfulness strengthens mental clarity, reduces reactivity, and cultivates the calm, measured demeanor emblematic of Stoic living. Lesson 8: Accept and learn from adversity. Stoicism teaches that adversity is an opportunity to strengthen character. Marcus Aurelius often faced immense challenges yet approached them as lessons rather than misfortunes. Pain, setbacks, and criticism are inevitable. How we respond defines our inner peace. Historical examples: Epictetus, born a slave, cultivated wisdom and resilience despite limited freedom. Seneca endured political exile yet authored profound philosophical works. Marcus Aurelius confronted wars, personal loss, and betrayal, yet meditated on virtue and duty, viewing trials as tools for self-improvement. Modern applications: adversity is unavoidable: job loss, relationship struggles, illness. Stoic perspective reframes these challenges as learning experiences. For example, a failed project teaches problem-solving, teamwork, and adaptability. Athletes recovering from injury can focus on rehabilitation, discipline, and strategy, growing stronger physically and mentally. Real-life example: consider a parent dealing with a rebellious teenager. Rather than reacting with frustration, viewing this as an opportunity to practice patience, empathy, and communication aligns with Stoic principles. By learning from adversity, we cultivate resilience, emotional intelligence, and mastery over impulses. Actionable insight: when facing difficulty, ask, what can I learn? How can I respond virtuously? Reflect on setbacks as training for character. Keep a journal to track lessons, growth, and successes despite challenges. This mindset transforms obstacles into growth opportunities and strengthens emotional composure. Lesson 9: Reflect on mortality. Memento mori, remember death, is a Stoic practice emphasizing the inevitability of mortality. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself that life is finite, fostering urgency, gratitude, and perspective. Awareness of mortality encourages prioritization of meaningful actions over trivial concerns. Historical context: Stoics like Epictetus argued that remembering death clarifies values and actions. Marcus Aurelius' writings repeatedly reflect this, urging himself to act justly, cultivate virtue, and avoid wasting energy on gossip, fear, or superficial pursuits. Modern applications: awareness of mortality enhances focus and motivation. Professionals may prioritize impactful work over minor disputes. Individuals may invest in relationships, experiences, and personal growth rather than material accumulation. This perspective reduces fear, anxiety, and procrastination. Real-life example: someone facing a serious health diagnosis often reevaluates life priorities, choosing meaningful work, quality relationships, and personal fulfillment. This mirrors the Stoic exercise of daily reflection on mortality to inspire purposeful living. Actionable insight: each morning or evening, reflect briefly on life's brevity. Ask, if today were my last, how would I act? Align choices with values, deepen relationships, and act with intentionality. This practice nurtures appreciation, reduces trivial stress, and encourages Stoic calm and purpose. Lesson: serve others and practice compassion. While Stoicism emphasizes personal mastery, it also values social duty. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that humans are naturally social and moral beings. Virtue includes caring for others, acting justly, and contributing positively to society. True inner peace extends beyond personal composure. It arises from ethical action in a connected world. Historical examples: Marcus Aurelius' reign exemplified this. He strove to rule with justice, fairness, and concern for citizens' welfare. Seneca advised generosity and ethical conduct, even in political and personal challenges. Epictetus emphasized that social harmony is essential to a good life. Modern relevance: compassion fosters emotional resilience, strengthens relationships, and enhances meaning. Volunteering, mentoring, or simple acts of kindness improve well-being and reduce self-centered anxiety. Leaders practicing empathy cultivate trust and productive environments. Real-life example: a manager supporting a struggling employee not only helps another person but cultivates personal calm and satisfaction. A parent teaching children ethics and empathy models virtue while nurturing inner peace. Acts of service align actions with Stoic virtue, reinforcing self-respect and tranquility. Actionable insight: daily, perform one intentional act of kindness. Reflect on how it aligns with Stoic virtues: courage, justice, wisdom, and temperance. Serving others balances self-focus with social responsibility, deepens empathy, and strengthens personal calm. Stoic peace is not isolation, it thrives through virtuous engagement with the world.